At a time when compact and subcompact SUVs are the rage in the Indian market, there is a lot of movement in the premium hatchback segment as well. The i20 has been a formidable player in this segment, but rivals have upped the game in recent times as well. So how does Hyundai answer against the rivals? Well, for that, say hello to the all-new i20 that's about to hit the Indian roads. What is the car all about? We're taking a closer look and we'll be presenting the first impressions of the all-new i20 from the outside as well as on the inside. The i20 has always been quite a stunning vehicle to look at. In fact, Hyundai designs its cars really well, and that's one of the major selling points of Hyundai vehicles here in India. The i20 takes all of those and builds on it. So the car that you see here is the turbo variant, so you have the turbo badge, but the parametric dual front grille here looks extremely sporty, flanked on either sides by the LED DRLs and the LED headlights. Just below are the fog lamps, and the overall red and black color theme on this particular vehicle makes the car look really sporty. What's adding character and a bit of muscle to the vehicle is the character line right here on the bonnet. The side profile of the i20 is perhaps where it's at its sportiest best. That's thanks largely to the chrome from the A to the B and well beyond the C-pillar, as well as the chrome door handles. There is i20 badging on the bottom side plate, and the windows seem sufficiently large. Just take a look at the 16-inch diamond cut alloys as well. Even that is trying to increase the style sportiness quotient of this vehicle. Over at the rear, don't miss the rear quarter glass, which Hyundai says will give a sense of a more airy cabin for the occupants once they're inside the car. There is also a shark antenna right up at the top there, and there is a gloss black addition on the C-pillar, which contrasts well with the chrome and the body color on this particular unit. There are small i20 badge on the side as well, one on the side of the headlights and another one on the side of the tail lights. Now we're speaking about the tail lights, so come, let's take a look at the rear profile of this car. The unmissable aspect of the rear profile of the all-new i20 are those Z-shaped tail lights. They are youthful, they're sparky, and frankly, they're quite stylish to look at. What's adding to the flair of the vehicle also are these chrome plates that run from one tail light all the way to the back profile and end onto the rear tail light on the other side. Now there is a reflector light here and two reflector sides on either side of this blackened skid plate right here at the bottom. The boot, there is over 300 liters of space for that, so it's easily accessible and should be okay for a weekend getaway for the entire family of, say, 4 people. So the overall profile of the i20 has changed quite significantly if you compare it to the preceding model. What's changed on the inside? Well, we're just about to find out. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I used to drive a 2012 i20. It's 2020 now. I don't have that particular car, but I may just consider getting another i20 purely because of what Hyundai have done on the inside of this vehicle. Starting with how premium this car now looks. It's clearly targeting the premium aspect of premium hatchbacks. There is a really big, gorgeous 10.25-inch infotainment system, which now supports Hyundai's BlueLink technology. The overall fit and feel of the vehicle looks very premium. There is a clear emphasis on a horizontal layout. So just take a look at how the AC vents have been done in. Since this is a turbo variant of the i20, you get red additions on the AC vents and the temperature control buttons and fan speed buttons as well. Speaking about the red additions, you do get them also on the upholstery. This one has a leather upholstery with stitching done in red. Also, the cladding here on the seats are also done in red. The seats are relatively comfortable and offer a nice cushioning feel, but for more on that, we'll actually have to take it out on a road test to get a sense of really how comfortable the i20 is to sit in. Coming back to the instrument and the feature list, you do get OxyBoost air purifier. Hyundai says that it's an advanced air purifier that claims to take out most of the pollutants that other variants, other air purifiers can't. You also get a large TFT screen for the driver, which puts out all the necessary information, including tire pressure monitoring system. The steering has also been wrapped in leather, and their stitching quality seems to be at par with anything out in the market. It's not a flat bottom steering wheel, but it does get all the volume controls and the other controls for the TFT as well. Well, it can't be adjusted for reach, but it can be adjusted for rake. Now, storage space obviously is very important to a lot of customers, especially in the hatchback segment. So you do get a nice big space for your phone. And remember, Hyundai is now bringing in the wireless phone charging to the i20 as well. Now, if your phone doesn't support wireless charging, that's not a problem, because Hyundai has also equipped the car with a 12-volt charging outlet and 2 USB points. The size of the storage options on either doors are also decent and should be able to fit bottles of most sizes. An absolutely brand new feature, the one-touch electric sunroof, always a popular choice on Indian roads and for Indian customers. One thing that the new i20 misses out on is ventilated front seats. Hyundai perhaps expects the AC to be powerful enough to actually not make you miss that. But really, how much space does the i20 have? That's the big question. We're going to jump right back into the back seats to find that out. I've never really found space to be much of a constraint in the i20, especially in the back seat. In the new version of the car, it just seems like Hyundai has upped the space quotient just a little bit. Now, once again, the driver's seat is according to how I like it, and it's pulled back quite a lot. And yet, I have decent amount of knee room, adequate leg space, decent amount of under-thigh support. In fact, the under-thigh support is more than just decent, and headroom, which is quite decent as well. I'll have to seat 3 people to find out if the shoulder room is adequate. Of course, Hyundai says it is, but I don't see much to make me feel like 3 people would be crammed together even on long journeys here. But for more on that, we'll of course bring you the actual drive review, where we'll focus in depth on that front. If you're just 2 people sitting here in the rear seats, you can always roll down the central armrest, which unfortunately does not have any cup holders, but can still make for a comfortable addition on long journeys. The rear AC vents inside the i20 make a comeback. There is a storage space just underneath it, perhaps for your mobile phone, and another USB charger for your phone. Stylish looks, comfortable cabin, plethora of engine options, and of course, a long feature list. i20 is not just looking at taking the fight to its rival, but is also looking at standing aside and above its preceding model. Our first impression of the car is positive, but the real test lies when this car is taken on a road test review. We'll be bringing you that review soon enough. For now, this is me signing off. Thank you so much for watching.